everybody, and welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan, Julie, and Aimee. Yay! So this is my daughter. Oh, I did it right again. Okay, cool. Aimee LaCroix Slocum, and she is a sparkler, and she's a jubilant stamper, and she's here this weekend, or she's here. And we Julie's going to explain what we're going to do, but it was something we discussed a few weeks ago. Speaking of which, there is my daughter. No, I did it again. There is my daughter, Julie Davison. It is. So Julie lives in Illinois. I live in Michigan, so we don't get to stamp together that much. Aimee tries to join us when she can. So it just kind of the everything aligned for today. So I'm going to let Julie explain what it is we're doing, and we're going to kind of jump right in.
I just say I'm really jealous that you're together. I want to be together and stamp. This is the next best thing, but it's still not the best thing, and that's being together. So hopefully it won't be long before we can do something like this in person, but we're really excited to be able to do this challenge. So we did another challenge with Aimee, a few months ago. And so you probably remember, she also joined us for our Rainbow of Happiness episode where we shared some projects with the Sunshine and Rainbow designer paper. And I think it was on that episode that we talked about doing this challenge. So we're really excited. What we've done today is each of us has designed a card and then given the other stampers the measurements that we used. So the color of cardstock and, how to cut it. And then we've each created a card of our own using the same measurements that were given to us. So I'm really excited. We're each going to demonstrate the card that we created originally, and then the rest of us will share what we created using the same pieces. So I cannot wait to see how different or how similar these things are. Now we have no idea. Well, Mom and Aimee a little bit because they're with each other, but I have no idea what stamp set they're using. They have no idea what stamp set I'm using. So this is going to be really fun to do these reveals to each other right here during our Zoom video.
What was really interesting and kind of challenging is that all we know is, as Julie said, the cardstock, any designer series paper. That's it. So so we then chose stamp sets, so they may be different, they may be whatever, but so that's why they're going to be so different, because all we are using are the same paper pieces. So it's a challenge.
I'm trying to think if we had any rules. Like we did say that you could die cut the pieces that were given, but that you shouldn't cut them smaller, really, because we wanted to use the same piece. And I mean, other than that, it was kind of open. And then we sort of set embellishments as desired. So you may see some different embellishments depending on the stamp set that each of us is using.
We had to use everything. Mm-hmm. We had to use all the pieces that the designer
did suggest trying to hide some of the pieces underneath. They're being used, but not seen. But Mom said no.
You're so funny. I did use all of the pieces that you guys assigned. And though I did use some of the white to do stamping and cutting out. So I didn't put the whole piece on my card. Well, here, let's just jump in and we can. Okay, so Mom, are you ready to start with your project?
I am.
All right, let's switch the camera over to you.
All right. Okay, so for the sake of time, since there are three of us demonstrating, we've kind of pre-stamped a number of things, but let me do the big reveal. I am using Wildflower Path.
Ooh.
And this is a stamp set that is in the current annual that is carrying over, which I am very excited about because I just love the stamp set. Okay, so that's the stamp set I'm using. So my card base is a 4 1/4 by an 11-inch piece of evening evergreen, and it's scored at 5 1/2 or 2 3/4 and 5 1/2. So this is going to be just a very simple Z-fold. So not a lot of scoring. That's it. That's just a little simple Z-fold. Then I'm using the soft succulent. This paper is from the Posy pack.
Pansy patch.
Pansy patch. Thank you very much, Jay. And I'm using the soft succulent gingham. So I'm going to put this on here like so. Okay. And I've also pre-stamped my greeting, which is happy birthday. And I've got a piece of soft succulent satin ribbon ready to go as well. And then I have started my card front that's going to go on here.
Oh, wow.
So I just want to show you just a little bit about how the stamp set works, because I think it is wonderful.
I
All
don't
right.
have that stamp set yet.
You don't?
I know, I don't.
It's so pretty and versatile.
Yep. So I am trying to, I want to make sure I have the right stamp. Okay, because there's two stems. So depending on what flowers you're using, it almost doesn't matter. But so this is the evening evergreen. So I kind of mixed some soft succulent and evergreen flowery things in here. So I've got one in there, and I'm gonna try to stamp this here. And I finished up with succulent over here. So I wanted basically like a field of wildflowers.
I love all those colors.
Mhm.
Just gonna get rid of these inks before I put my hand in them. And I'm going to do, let me see, I want to do this one. So this is a two-step. Let me find, I thought I had it. Oh, I do, I think this is it. Let me just double check and make sure, because I want to make, no, I don't think that is it. I think it's this one. Yep, okay. So on this one, this is polished pink, and I'm stamping off and lining it up, and so you can see where the flowers would go. So it's pretty easy to line up pretty fast.
Oh, they're all on one stamp. Oh,
Yeah. So I'm going to do again for the shorter evergreen one. Let's see, that's about right. And then the other one is full strength.
I love two-step sets. It's so easy.
I know, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous?
Yes.
And pretty quick.
The nice thing too is that because it's kind of that watercolor look, you don't have to be precise and perfect.
Mhm.
It'll look fine because it.
Yes.
Oh, you're gonna make me want this set.
You know, good. You've done that to me. I can't tell you how many times. So I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna top this guy. You know, you could do a bunch of different things, but I'm gonna top this guy with the Daffodil Delight. It's not perfect, but you get the idea. And I'm going to just kind of stamp some things in there. Okay. All right, so that is how I did this entire card front.
So
I
pretty.
have a couple little thistles in there. This out of the way. This over here. I just do that, didn't I? Yeah, close enough. All right, so I'm going to stamp this or lay this on here. Of course, I'm only going to put. Yeah, let me tear up my grid paper. I'm just putting adhesive on one side, obviously, because I want to be able to open up the card. I just want to make sure that looks about right. And then my inside piece, I already have done as well. And so I put everything here and my greeting here, and then just a little clump of flowers here. So I don't want this to be seen, right? So I just want to make sure that I glue it so that it doesn't show. So what I'm going to do.
If you put the middle or the inside piece down first, then you can line up the outside piece over the
I
top.
should have done that, shouldn't I? But I did. So we're going to do it this way. I'm left-handed. How about that? That's my excuse. I'm sticking with it.
Always your excuse.
That's right. That's right. So there, so you can't see that. So now, and then I'm going to put this guy on. And I'm going to use some Terra tape, which I should have put on here already.
I had a moment of panic but I double checked your list and that little white piece wasn't on it.
Oh no.
It's fine. I still made a lovely card. I'm just saying it wasn't on my list, and so it's not on my card.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
No, it's not okay. It's not okay. All right, so this guy is gonna go this way, and I'm actually I want to cut that frayed end off. So I'm gonna put him over here.
I'm not sure where I would put it on my card, so
Oh, okay.
I can't add it real quick.
That's all right. Don't worry about it. I'm left-handed. That's my excuse.
That's your excuse for leaving it off the list. Oh my goodness.
Hey. All right. Oh, goodness gracious. Come on, get off here. Oh my.
They just lay it down. It'll look the same.
It looks funny. There. All right. Happy birthday. So I'm just going to put this up here. Like
Oh,
so.
that is so sweet.
And I'm going to try to trim this, and let's hope I don't. These aren't too dull. Take this off. Yeah, darn it. Darn it, darn
Where's
it.
your ribbon scissors?
Across the table.
Oh.
I'm gonna hand them to you.
Can you hand them to
Yeah.
me? Of course, I'm just butchering this ribbon now, so thanks. All right. Close enough. All right. Now, you know I have to sparkle. That's my last thing.
Yes. Oh, that card reminds me of Noni.
It does.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. All right. So I'm just going to add 5, not 3, 5. Just because there's so many.
Yeah. Which one are those? The iridescent rhinestones?
These are, which are also going to be in the new annual catalog, which makes me so happy. All right, let's see. Let's put her this one.
They were back ordered for a while too, weren't they?
They
Yeah.
were. I'm so excited because tomorrow, well, by the time you see this, demonstrators will have pre-ordered or can pre-order.
Yay. Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
So this is my card.
Oh, so pretty. I love the inside especially.
Thank you.
Nice composition.
It is.
All right,
Very
so
nice
since
touch.
we got the camera here, Amy, do you want to show your card?
Sure.
Which is in your bin, right?
I think so, yeah, because I had it in my
Yes,
envelope.
it is. And so I'm going to slide out of the way so that Amy can come here and show her.
Okay. So
Oh,
as soon as I saw the materials, I immediately thought for some reason an easel card. So, and you know what, you didn't pre-cut me one of those little white pieces either.
I didn't.
So she pre-cut mine. So, but easel card and everything. And so I didn't cut this. I just folded it around the size I want, to make it work. So, I mean, you know, it still works. It's still,
it does work. Oh, I love it.
And I used the blends to color only because I had stamped it in Memento and was like, oh, maybe I want to use the watercolor pencils, but no, blends still work. I still had that like soft look, which is kind of what I was going for. So yeah, I added some of the bees to go with it and just kind of busy. And so the greeting then is in with the easel that thanks a bunch. And this is from that one sunflower, celebrate sunflower stuff.
Yeah.
That's what that greeting is from. So
Ah,
and then yeah, I used the gingham strip. I figured it was an inside piece, but then with the easel, I needed something. So that works too.
That's
oh,
perfect.
perfect.
All right, Julie,
If you had a skinny strip, it could have gone on the outside for a greeting. Okay, let's switch the camera over to my desk. Replace spotlight. Okay, I had to hide it under the thing because I didn't want you to see. Here's my card.
Oh,
I did a pocket card
Oh, nice.
with that white piece. I used the other white piece to stamp the
Perfect.
flowers. And what I did with this one is I inked up just that half with the green ink pad and I stamped it, and then I inked it and turned it the other way and stamped it so they were across from each other. So that's actually one piece.
Nice.
And then I stamped and cut out those two flowers, which is from the same stamp. And then I added some ribbon and the vellum doily, and I just scored 1.5 inches from the end and then folded it down and added the ribbon is kind of holding it closed. So like it's still loose there because I didn't want to cut the this piece, and so I didn't have space to glue it. So
Okay. I love it.
There's
Oh,
my version.
Good job, girls. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, that was really fun. I love how different they look. And we all did kind of a fun fold. I totally was thinking about the Z fold, Mom, and I almost did that. That's fun. Okay, are you guys ready for my card?
Yes, we are.
So I talked to Mom earlier this week and she said, I think it would be fun if we used the same stamp set for all of our cards, meaning she's going to use the same stamp set on all of her cards. And I'm using the same stamp set on all of my cards. Now, Aimee, I know yours are different for each of the cards, which is totally fine. Another layer of the challenge that we didn't tell you about, so we can't hold you to it. So I'm using the Flowing Flowers stamp set. This is from the January through June mini catalog, and I don't think it carries over. So you still have a few months to get this one before it's going to retire, but I just love this distinctive, the distinctive images. So we've got some images, we've got some really great sentiments. And so here are the pieces for my card. And I think we forgot to say that we'll have the measurements for all these cards in the video description. So we're not going to give them to you as we're stamping, and you can grab those if you want to remake any of the cards that we've shown you or do your own thing. So I've got a card base that's soft succulent, and I'm using some of the in colors, Pale Papaya Polished Pink, and then a little bit of designer paper from the Heart and Home collection that has the basic gray wood grain. Now, one of the things I wanted to accomplish with sharing my card today is I wanted to kind of show you a technique. And so the technique I'm going to show you is using markers to color on the stamp. So this stamp in particular is all one, but it has a flower, a leaf, and then the other images in there. So I wanted to show how you can use the Stampin' Write markers. Now, these are different than the blends, right? These are the water-based dye ink markers, and they come in a package. This is the in colors. So they come in a package of 5. Like this with the other in colors. And in the core color families, you can get either like the whole color family, like the brights or the regals, or you can get the entire box of markers, which is a really great way to just get the whole collection at once. I have to tell you, I don't use my markers very often anymore. How about you guys?
I don't. I love to watercolor, and I tend to use a Memento in the blends because I love them. But I have to say the last little bit I've been using mainly because I just want to show folks what you can do. And it's like magic, you know, they're like, wow, I never thought you could do that. And I remember Mark's wife, she really wasn't too much of a stamper or a crafter at all. But when we showed her, we were down here and she said, that's how you do it. I was like, the light bulb went off, and she was so excited to see that you could put, you know, how to put multiple colors on one stamp.
I love it. Well, the ink does dry pretty quick though, so you just want to give it a little, like a little breath, a little huff, and then stamp it on your paper, and so you get those different colors in there. I thought about designer paper, but Aimee, well, I did use designer paper here, but Aimee doesn't have a lot of the same designer paper that Mom and I do. And so instead of using a lot of different patterns of designer paper, I thought I would just use, realizing I forgot to get my ink pads out, I thought I would sort of stamp on the cardstock to kind of, I guess, create like my own, you know, tone on tone designer paper. So I'm using polished pink with a small flower stamp to do that piece, and then the large stamp with the Pale Papaya to stamp on the larger piece. And then I am just going to layer these onto the card.
Pretty. pretty, pretty, pretty. I almost did the same thing with this, was tone on tone.
I'm trying to see if I did use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Let me grab those under this layer. And I really loved the basic gray wood grain in here. And so I wanted to incorporate some of the basic gray cardstock. And originally I had a basic gray card base, but I just felt like that was a little too much gray. So I like the green that I changed it to. I'm going to add this strip down toward the bottom here with regular adhesive. And then I have a little strip for the sentiment. One of my favorite sentiments in the catalog is in this stamp set, and it says, sending a card instead of a text. And I just love
Nice, nice.
that sentiment. I love that idea. I debated on embellishments with this card, and I kind of went back and forth, and I ended up using a little piece of baker's twine, and I couldn't decide. I'm gonna do a loop-de-loop, and then I'll show you the other one, and you can let me know which one you like. Let's go a little adhesive on the back, and oh, I feel like it's so fussy sometimes. Okay, that's not gonna sit.
I never have very good luck with that. It never looks very good when I do it.
It's not working today. Usually I feel like I can loop it and just stick it and go with it. There we go. I think I got it. And then I'm going to add some dimensionals.
Oh, pretty, Julie. That's
So
very
here's the other one. I did like the figure 8, kind of like I tied a bow and then just put it on there. So which way do you guys like it? Do you like the loopy loop or the bow?
I like the loop-de-loop myself.
And I like the bow.
Okay, I cannot wait to see what you guys created. So I'm going to switch the camera over so you guys can show off your cards.
Okay. So here's what I did. So I put the polished pink underneath the papaya, and I used the beehive embossing folder to emboss this piece. And then I used my wildflower path. I just did like one bloom, but this is a cluster of 3 little flowers. So I just stamped right on the designer series paper and used happy birthday. And then I edged this piece of white with some soft succulent, and then decided with the beehive, I just added a bee. So
I
that was how
love that so much.
So yeah.
Very nice. Love it. Love the texture of the beehive.
Yes.
Thanks.
So I did this one. I struggled, Julie.
Wait a second. Bring mom's card back in there. Did you guys almost have the same layout?
Oh my gosh.
Oh, dang it. That's okay. That's okay. It's all good. It's all good.
Oh, I love it.
It was a challenge. Different stamp sets though, but yeah, I don't know. I struggled. Like I was really trying to figure it all out. And but I used was it greenery stitchery greenery background to give the texture. And then I used the Quiet Meadow stamp set, and that gave me this stamp here. So to kind of give some texture. I'm one of those, like, I like multiple texture. I'm like a very collagey kind of person. And even had this splatter stamp as well to put on the greeting, since my greeting was not very large. So I needed to kind of fill the space a little bit. And then I used the meadow dies and cut these 2 shapes out of the pale papaya, because I just did not know what to do.
I love it. I think it's
but
great.
I wanted something anyway. Yeah. And then some iridescent stones. So I probably would have popped this up, or if I had like more material, I might have cut this out several times to add dimension instead of trying to do like little dimensionals, and some of the things won't be like, it would be kind of weaker. So, having like multiple die cuts
I
glued
think it's
together
pretty. I
will
really
make it
do.
stronger. So to make it give that dimension,
Yeah.
I feel like it's flat. So I might have done a few things different with more material, but
That is pretty. I love it.
I love it. I love all the texture with the background and the stamping, and it's
Yeah.
perfect.
I love this. I've used this myself. That little, just the words, just to add a little extra dimension to it, and it's perfect.
yeah, I love this bundle and stamp set. I really think I might have to get it for home. It might end up in my suitcase going home. I kid.
All right,
Okay, so it's your turn.
it's your turn.
Okay, so do I show my card first, do you think?
It's up to you.
I would show your supplies, and then you can demonstrate and save the reveal.
Sounds good. Okay. So I had Daffodil Delight cardstock, and then I used the Waves of Ocean DSP because honestly, it's pretty much the only DSP that I have at home. So I chose
The only that you have that's current, because you do
That's
have a lot of
current.
DSP.
current, correct. So I chose this piece to do something with, but I kind of wanted to stay away from the bundle, especially since you guys had used that what a few weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
So I wanted to maybe show a little bit something different with the paper that I had. So I had some white card base things, and this was kind of an inside piece as well. And then I had 3 little rectangles, and I gave a bigger size because of then what the actual die cut was. So they could be like, since mine were die cutted, but so these were like 1 by or something or other. So I basically am stamping, and my actual card, I did a different technique of the stamping, and but I'm going to show another way, which is when I was kind of playing around in general, I tried another way. So I'm going to, I need that scrap paper.
This one?
Yeah, what was there? Okay. So I'm going to show this.
Aimee, which dies did you use? Because I love that stitch border. Is that the stitched rectangles?
It is the stitch rectangles, yes.
Okay.
Okay, so without seeing my card, what I did was I basically laid my stamp, and I used the After the Storm stamp set, and this one is sold out. It's retiring and is sold out.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
unfortunately,
Yeah, she had this
This
all
one you
planned
would
out
get.
before it sold out. So
yeah,
our apologies to our viewers who might want to get this, and now you can't.
but if you have it, it's a new way of using it.
There you go.
yes. And just a reminder to get all your favorite last chance stamp sets before they sell out, because they're
So
going
I
fast.
updated- yes, they are. I updated the list this morning, and there's like 3 dozen stamp sets that are gone.
Yeah.
They're done.
Yeah.
3 dozen. I don't know
Something
that that's ever
new.
happened.
Yeah.
Wow. Anyway,
So I'm using this Sun Ray, and I'm gonna stamp, but I'm stamping Calypso Coral on here. Like I'm stamping monotone. So I need 3 different colors, but I also need them to match up. So what I'm going to do is basically, I have it in this position here. I'm using the Stamparatus for this as well. So I'm stamping it up, but I'm covering up the other 2. Oh, I need something to clean the stamps too.
no worries. Got you covered.
How smart is this?
Right?
You always have the most awesome techniques.
Thank you.
Just love it. I need to use my Stamparatus more. So you have strategically glued down the rectangles to
Yes.
be how you want it on your card front.
Correct.
Okay. And I can't remember if you said it, but we were using Calypso Coral, Petal Pink, and Daffodil Delights.
Yes.
So pretty.
And close up your ink.
Okay, I'm gonna end up going back to it, so.
Oh, then I'll
No,
sleep.
yes, I will, eventually.
Okay.
Okay, so. Now my Petal Pink I did do twice, which is another reason for the Stamparatus, just because it was so light. And it could be that my ink pad at home is on the drier side.
Mine's pretty light too.
Yeah,
Yeah, mine is too.
it's actually not that bad, look at that.
Oh, look at that.
I'm gonna still
And
stamp it
if you
twice.
notice what she's using to help with it, this is a wonderful little find that Aimee did. And it's one of those air hockey pucks, not
Yeah.
pucks,
Well,
Handles.
yeah,
Yeah.
handle.
It's got felt on the bottom.
And look at that.
Yeah, so it glides. There's there's ones out there that people make, like I think on Etsy you can buy, and they're like creative or something bug or something, but it glides on the thing, so you're not like using your fist and hand, and you can have like a more even pressure.
Love it. She bought
to your
all of
stamp.
us one too.
I found them at a thrift store. They were 50% off at the thrift store, so I think I spent $1.50 on 4, and then like 2. So I shared. And they work fantastic.
Did they already have the felt on it, or you put the felt on it?
The felt is already on it for the air hockey.
That's awesome.
Isn't it? That's crazy.
So then Daffodil Delights, and I'm cleaning off my stamp in between. Sticky. Okay. So and I'm cleaning off my stamp in between to make sure that I'm obviously not contaminating the colors.
Which I appreciate.
We don't show a lot of the Stamparatus, but the grid paper that Aimee is using is actually small grid paper that is designed to fit right in the Stamparatus. So like that bottom piece is a perfect square that just fits nicely right in there.
So this one doesn't have much, but okay. So, and then what I did is, because I'm using more than just the one ray, after it's clean, I can pick it up. Sure, it's just so I'm not reading my picture. Okay. And then I can like shift it to the next spot, and I'll repeat that. So I don't know if you want me to do that or save some time and then just show my project, or kind of.
I think we got the gist of what you're doing here. Do you want to bring in your?
So yeah, I basically moved it, restamped it, and covered it up. So I'm gonna hand it to you. So I guess you can. I'm sorry, close the ink pads.
Close the ink.
To not.
Aimee, what kind of adhesive did you use to put the cardstock on the grid paper?
I honestly just used some seal, and then I like sometimes tap it on my hand just to like get it a little less sticky, and just a little bit just to stick it on there, because it does come off somewhat easy.
Good to know.
And then
So just a little, not a lot of it.
Yeah, just in the middle, and
Just to hold.
and like I said, I kind of do this sometimes just to do take some of the stickiness off. And if I tear a little bit here and there, it's going to be covered up anyway. So and what I did on my project is that I took this this stamp, and I did the same technique. So I also didn't need to cover it up though, with Versamark, and I gold embossed. So they're ashes. Yeah.
Wait till you see
So
this.
kind of all while it was in the stamp. So then on my project, so which ones? That's my inside piece that I just tossed off to the side. So, and I didn't do anything fun and fancy with the inside, so I figured I can do that later. So I wanted just a little something for it to stand out. So there's it's a white mat, very little, like 1/8 of an inch, I think, border around, had it placed down. And then I placed the nice thing too is when I had it go, it's like it matches up enough so I know how it goes. Like I can match up the shape a little bit more.
So they're off centered, right?
Yeah.
So that it's the design that you're trying to be.
So I would have this down.
We kind of get the idea.
Yeah. So that's kind of there. And then I had it's filled up. I put my greeting here. One of those strip went, and I can show it to you. But basically, I had these popped up. I apologize. They were popped up with dimensionals. I'll show you my card now.
Yeah.
So here's my card.
Right?
Wow.
So it's I call it my abstract sunset. And I chose these, the colors in the paper, but I chose this order of the layers because, it's kind of like the order you see in a sunset, right? The sun, and then you kind of got the pink, red skies and some sunsets. So it's my abstract sunset with the kind of sun rays, the little gold heat embossing. You've got the monotone strips, added some of the iridescent, just enough to kind of not like overtake the rest of the project, but still add a little something. And then this is that brushed gold metallic little strip there that I wanted to because I just stamped the greeting right directly on here without having to add like another white piece or keeping it 3, right? As it was, I wanted to, I guess, point that out a little bit more, add a little something. Ribbon wouldn't have really, I think, worked well.
Yeah.
So just a little, I mean, I think this was 1/8 of an inch, probably like almost 2 inches. So just to like underline it a little bit, that's
Love it. Isn't it gorgeous?
I
just
love it.
it's just a little,
Wow.
there's a lot going on, but
That's our creative Amy.
I did. But yeah, I liked the colors of that
Mhm.
of that paper, the DSP. And I think you guys even mentioned it when you did that in a few weeks back with the Waves of Ocean, the fact that it is kind of sunset colors.
Yeah.
And that is really like what I saw from it too, is the sunset colors, and wanting to use the After the Storm stamp set. Finally, I thought rays of sun. So anyway, that's my project.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Oh, all right. Well, let me show you what I did with Amy's card. And I have to say those little strips kind of threw me. And trying to figure out what to do with them. So
Oh,
the strips, I stamped the greeting, and again, I used the Wildflower Path. My heart is smiling because of you. And then I took the other two pieces and tore the edges and then just kind of glued them together. After I got it on the card, I realized what I should have done was then popped up just the centerpiece with dimensionals,
oh,
but I didn't. And so then I took the other white piece and I stamped some of the wildflowers in Calypso Coral and Daffodil Delight, and got out my layering circles and did the die cut it out, and it's up on dimensionals. And then I also just edged with some Calypso Coral around it, and then added some cute little butterflies.
Like a vignette.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh,
So that's what I did with Amy's.
I love it. It's
you're
really
gonna
good.
make me get that stamp set.
I hope so.
So different.
Oh, it's so amazing how they're so different using the same pieces. Okay, are you guys ready to see mine?
Yes.
So I used those 3
Ooh.
strips, kind
Okay.
of like Aimee did, except in a different order. And then I like the bigger border. So I used the bigger white piece to go behind the designer paper, and I used the smaller one to stamp, and I fussy cut the flowers because there's not any coordinating dies. I added the yellow tone on tone, and then the happy birthday in basic gray, and some artistry bloom sequins just to kind of frame out those flowers.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh, that's so pretty. That
It's
really
great.
is. Wow, what fun cards.
I know. Let's switch the camera around and we can show off the ones that we've designed. I wish we could hold up all of our cards.
I know. I know. Oh,
and show them all how different they are. Actually, let's do that really quick. Like, let's do one at a time. So let's do Mom's card first, and let's all hold them up.
But
So
you have to
we
show
can
your
get
face. Mom.
a good look at all of, I know. Okay, so a good look at all of them. So these are all really different. Like, we all did kind of a different fold, which I think is really cool. And I think they all look just totally different.
yeah.
And all
Okay,
different-
and then the second card was mine. So let's hold up those next.
Where's it?
I don't know where I put my yours.
Yeah, I love that yours have that similar pink going across that way. That's so fun. And I almost put the basic gray vertical. I was thinking about that, Mom. That's
I know, I
fun.
like that touch. It's a nice little touch.
Okay, and then the last one was Amy's card.
Oh,
These are so different too. Like, even though Aimee and I both use like the strips in the middle, I feel like they look totally different.
oh yeah.
It's the stamp set, really, that it's the style of stamp set that's
Yes.
different. So
And it shows how versatile this Waves of Ocean designer paper is, because we all used exactly the same piece on our card in the same colors, and we used 3 different stamp sets. So the Waves of the Ocean paper is still available, but it's not going to be in the new catalog. So you want to make sure that you get it. It's only while supplies last. And recently the blue foils paper and the wave rhinestones have sold out. So don't wait to get that Waves of the Ocean designer paper because it is only only around for a limited time and only while supplies last. So
It's
you have some shopping to do, people at home.
Yes, you do. And the way
Ways of
things
the
are
ocean.
going, yes,
Yes, last chance list. It is going fast.
it is going fast. Absolutely. So, yeah, so this was a lot of fun.
It was.
And I sure hope you all enjoyed it. And we can't wait to show you some things from the new upcoming annual catalog, but you have to wait just a little bit longer.
Yes.
Oh, we'll just tease you with that. There are some wonderful sets, and yeah, I'm can't wait to play. Can't wait to get
Me
set.
too. Well, Mom and I, we're both going to post the measurements for these cards in our Facebook groups. And so we would love for you to share the cards that you make with these same measurements and what you did with these. So make sure to share your cards in Mom's group. What's your group called again, Mom?
Stamping with Susan Sparklers.
Stamping with Susan Sparklers, or in Julie's Stamping Spot Share and Connect group. Because we cannot wait to see what you create as well. This was so much fun, and we definitely have to do it again. Although I hope next time that we can all be together.
Well, let's plan on it.
Yes. I think this is a great excuse to get together.
That's what
I
was
think
just
so
thinking.
too. Ooh. Well, anyway, we want to just thank you so much for tuning in and watching us. And we'll see you next Sunday, Stamping with Susan and Julie. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Have a great week.